Squadron. So I'm just checking all the lights and everything are okay. Hope you're all right, by the way. It's Monday. I started, a project that was meant to start in beginning of April. Actually, it was end of March, and then it got delayed until May, and that's just because we had to wait for the client to sort some stuff out. It finally started. It's a directory website, hoping that we get it done by Thursday. Thursday's a slippage day, really. So quite a bit of stuff done today. I've just got the client to review a few things, which they've just done, which is great, you know. You know when a client gets back to you within half an hour? That's great. So now I know just a few little things to tinker. My process with hey Sergio, how are you doing, by the way? Hope you're all right, mate. My process with when I do directory websites, in fact, I will even go as far as saying anything that involves WooCommerce, directories, anything like that, is I like to get the basics set up in terms of the plugins, the connections, make sure the payment gateway's all working. If there's a subscription, make sure that's all working. And then the bits to do with the presentation, like the home page, the about page, the way the map looks, the way the search page looks, all of that, I actually leave until day 2 or even day 3. Day 1 is all about making sure your plugins all work properly. So if you're going to start, hey Tarek, hey Brian, hey Harish, how are you doing? Hey George. So my big tip for everyone is whenever you work on a directory website or a WooCommerce website, anything like that, is get your plugins in, okay? Make sure they're talking. So if you're going to have a special gift card or coupon plugin, make sure it works. Subscription, gateway, make sure everything is, properly working. Because, hey Mia, how are you? And hey Lena, there's nothing, and the cats and the dogs and the turtles and the mosquitoes and everything else you've got in there. One of the biggest mistakes some people make is they worry more about the header, the footer, the home page, and the styling and all of that before you know all of your plugins are working. Because then all of a sudden you start stressing because, oh my God, I've done all this and I've done all that. I would rather get sorted out from the get-go. Did you make sure all the plugins you were going to use or the ones the client advised you to use, are they now working correctly? Because if you get to the point where after day 1 it falls apart, now you have to make a decision over, do you offer a refund, a partial refund because you have done stuff? Have you now found out that we can't do exactly what you want, so we have to compromise? So you get all of the compromises in, all the fixes, or there is no compromise. Everything is tickety-boo. Really, really good. Whoops. Sorry, a bit of a creak noise then as I adjust my microphone. You get all of that in. Then the presentation, because it's like doing a PowerPoint. You do your research before you do the PowerPoint, right? If anyone here has worked in analytics or Tableau or data reporting, you do all of the data mining, the algorithm, all of that in the SQL, all of your number crunching, all of your formulas. I do not want to take the data out and then go, oh, now I've got to do an if statement. No, I'll do it there, thank you very much. I'm going to do a lookup. No, I'll do it over there. I don't need to do a VLOOKUP in Excel. I want to pump it into a flashy report. All of my number crunching's there. So if you don't want to present it in Tableau and you want to stick it in something else, you can. It's all there. Thank you, Soul Esperanza. I'm glad you like it. And the same goes with how I treat websites, okay? If you are a basic website, I'll just jump in and we start building. If you are WooCommerce, I want to get all of that done. The video I put out for Elementor, I halfway through then address WooCommerce, don't I? I do all the website, I do all the front end, I do all the blog, and then I do WooCommerce, and then I go through the settings. In real life, I would have done all of those WooCommerce settings right at the start. Okay, I would have WordPress settings, page speed spec settings, performance settings basically. Then I do WooCommerce, right? Get all of that in. Then I do the images. Then I do the custom load. Because when you install WooCommerce, you get a dummy image anyway. So, you know, and I make sure everything goes through. I create a test product. I might put it as $1 or something, because obviously if it's less than $1, the Stripe or the PayPal might not work because of the commission rate. And you test it out. Does it all work? And I will make sure the client has got their PayPal account, whether it's a personal or a business, and a Stripe set up 7 days, a minimum of 7. I prefer it to be longer, but a minimum of 7 days. It must be set up and verified. So I can then go in, connect, notifications going. Yep, notifications all going through. And then you build. And then you do the front end. Right, okay. Let me get on to the questions. How important is a blog on a website? Well, unforgettable domain. It depends on what kind of website are you building? Is there lots of competition? Are you trying to help your rankings in Google? Because it can help you. But you don't have to blog every day. You can do 5 or 6 blogs and then, you know, massacre and hit out on the SEO. EPHS, Avanto Elements. To be honest, right, okay. To be honest, right, okay, I would say it does very much depend though, like on who's built the template. To be honest, I'm gonna say though that you can do what you want with the template as long as they've not been locked down in specifics. That also being said, the template might contain within there other plugins, so you sometimes get more than you want or not enough. 9 times out of 10, why do you like the template? I bet it's the images. I bet it's the font. I bet it's the sizing. So when you remove the images and look at it, is it something that you could have done yourself? And the only reason I'm saying that is because you actually have more control over what you produce. So that's my bit of advice. Hey Raja, funny story today though. Someone contacted me and they basically said one of my videos on how to do an auto scroll image carousel wasn't working. The images were not showing. So my answer was, are you using any optimization plugin? Their reply was, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I've just asked you, have you got any optimization enabled? And their reply was, I don't know. Now, unless you've not built your website, you should know if you've got snippets or plugins or something going on. You know, because I know that image auto scroll carousel video works because other people have done it as well. Raja, have you created a theme in WordPress? No, Raja, I don't do it. For 2 reasons. Number 1, I don't need to because I use Hello 9 times out of 10. I'm always using Hello. In fact, more than 9 times out of 10. 9.9 times out of 10. And I don't want to have the hassle of always updating when things change in the world with plugins and stuff. I like to just do it, move on. Do it, move on. That's how I operate. Hey Shabeen, how are you doing? Mia, do you have suggestions of good AI detection services? To be honest, Mia, there's loads out there. I don't think... Here's the thing, Mia, right? Here's the thing, okay? Some detection websites and stuff will say my content that I've literally just written out is AI. Because unless it's very humanized and emotive and got a few puns or jokes or like, hey, did you know you know, like, hey, who knew you could do this? You know, you got to make it almost sound spontaneous. It will detect. For instance, Mia, I bet if you took your sentence there, do you have suggestions of good AI detection services? And you put that in to a detection service, it would probably say AI wrote that. Do you get what I mean? So I always find them very hit and miss. Because I've taken a paragraph that I've written, one place goes 100% human, another place goes 90% AI, and you go, what? What's that all about? Um, Rajat, do you have a guide how to create a theme with plugins and sell it? No, Rajat, I don't. But to be honest, Rajat, have you tried ChatGPT? Um, the thing is, though, what is the 10th? Tarek, what is the 10th? The 10th? What do you mean the 10th? The 10th? Oh, you mean in terms of themes? My listing. I used the my listing directory theme because that's really, really good and it helps speed. I can pump out a directory theme in like 2 or 3 days if I want. You know, if it's not too complex. So, yeah. So the thing is, Raja, is that as long as you're going to be prepared to keep on top of it, because remember, if you don't keep on top of it, you could burn yourself out with dealing with support requests, changes, WordPress, Elementor. Remember, okay, just because you built a theme with XYZ, when Elementor updates, you better make sure your theme is still working okay. When WordPress updates, maybe you've got it working with another third-party plugin. I don't know. So you're going to have to be on top of all of that. When Elementor did the beta release of the Flexbox container in... When was it? Was it January, I think? They did the beta release. The word container, they changed it from CON. No. I think they went from container to CONT, or was it CONT to container? One of those two. They swapped it. So if you built a theme and you had some CSS in there, everything you did would have to be modified because all of that would have broken, right? The CSS name, they deprecated the old one and they modified it. So you got to watch out for that. Hey, Gene, how are you doing? Don't forget to smash the like buttons. So Mia, again, yeah, I don't think it's perfect. I've got a feeling that they will class some items as AI, even though it's not. Because how can, you know, at the end of the day, words are words, yeah? It's like a wall, right? I could show you a picture of a wall and I would say, did a human paint that or did a machine robot paint the wall? And both are exactly the same because it's paint. And it's like, which one was human? Which one was the mechanical robot arm? Which one? And some people might say, well, the human one is the robot one because it's nice and even or whatever. It's very perfect. So it's the perception of what is classed as AI, I think is very, very grey because it's words, isn't it? I've sometimes gone to ChatGPT and said, give me a paragraph about XYZ. And I read it and I go, wow, this reads like someone has literally written it and designed it. At the moment, Gene, it's doing okay, the bricks video. Thank you very much, Gene. I hope you found it really mega useful. I think you did. So I'm really happy. And I hope it's doing wonders. I hope it's doing wonders for you in terms of the way I built it. I'm pretty sure I made the odd mistake here and there. You know, I'm pretty sure on the blog one I could have done it slightly differently. But overall, I'm very proud and happy that I did the Elemental video last week, right? And then as soon as I did that, a lot of people said, where's the bricks one? Where's the bricks one? And I felt a little bit like, yeah, I should do that. You know, I've got to look after my audience and my community. And I cannot deny that a good chunk of my audience now use bricks more than Elemental. Therefore, it's only right that I put out a video like that. Hey, Michael, how are you doing? Hey, Johnny as well. I'm pretty much expecting that I'm going to get a bit of hatred because I don't use CSS grids in the bricks video. I use REM and clamp a lot, but I also use pixel. And now and quite a few times in the video, I make statements like, I know you're not going to like it that I'm using a pixel in this situation, but get over it. And I think there will be people that don't like that, but I think that's something you have to appreciate. Using REM is great. Using clamp, even better. But sometimes, if you know If you know there will always be a 20 pixel difference between these two elements, or over here or there, just stick it in. Just stick it in. Who cares? Who cares if you put two R? Because sometimes, right, whether I put 2 REM or 220 pixel, I know you're going to argue about browsering and all of that and browser root HTML, but 99% of the time it makes sod all difference. 99% of the time. It really matters when you start to do responsive clamping. And what I like about this bricks video is how I fly through the home page quicker and the other pages and the blog much quicker by using the clamp, so that by the time I jump to the mobile, it's all okay. Yeah, it's all right. One little jig here, but it's all right. You know, there's literally, it's literally like, yeah, we're done the desktop, tablet, horizontal, mobile, vertical. Yeah, it's fine. Move on. Rather than, let's do this, and all of that. So I'm very happy with the bricks video. I was worried I wouldn't get it done in time for Monday. We've got it out. I do think this will probably be the last time for a very long time that I do a big, what we call long form videos. So these are videos whereby they're basically called long form because they are long, because they eat into my time. So 3 weeks, okay, 3 weeks, I have just been bang, 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 bang. And it means that I'm not getting other bits and pieces done here and there. Luckily, I was able to steer clients to certain dates, but we had one that was going to start today, which is why I wanted to get the bricks video done and dusted and out there today. So now I can just sort of work on our client stuff today. So I've just got to quickly send a message to someone here. Sorry, someone's just sent me a very important email. I just want to reply to them. Just bear with me for a moment. Have they? What are they talking about? I've just asked someone if they've done something and they've said, yes, I have. And I'm like, where? Where have they done that? Sorry, I've just got to quickly check someone's website, okay? I'm not going to show you on screen. I'm just going to log into their website so you don't have to worry about it. They've said they've added a plugin and I can't see it. Oh, yeah, they have. Stupid me. Anyway, yeah, so in terms of the bricks, I am expecting a little bit of backlash. I'd be a bit surprised if I didn't get something come back to me. Just because of the method and how I've built it. But then I'm kind of at this stage where I'm a bit like, you know, whatever. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, you like it. Yeah, I mean, in terms of time, John, I can actually tell you how long this video took. So this took 8.5 hours recorded time. So 8.5 hours recorded time. I've got it written here. 18 hours editing time, so that's 8.5 plus 18, which is 26.5. So 26.5 hours worth of effort went into creating that 3 hours and 20 minutes, I think it is, something like that. Johnny, is there a website where I can see other websites to look for inspiration? Johnny, I think I've answered this for you before. No. Well, yeah, there are, but that's not the best way to do it. What you do is you search for other websites that are in the niche area of what you're trying to go for. So if you're building a website for a dentist, what are their competitors got? And then do a search for dentistry websites. So really, rather than saying, where can I go? It's the wrong question. It really is the wrong question. It's a bit like when someone says to me, yeah, I really need inspiration for how to decorate my house or my home. My tip to them is go to IKEA, because seeing pictures is one thing, but being able to walk around is totally different. Go to IKEA or find an area where there's loads of new build houses going up, right? Go in and visit their showrooms. Go and see the rooms. Get a feel for the placement, the lighting, the amount of furniture. That's your best way to get a feeling, right? Yeah, because I could easily send you to a website with loads of interiors, but because you're not getting the depth, images are very 2D. No matter how much you feel perception, you can, oh, I can see it. Until you're actually in there, it doesn't really work. Jamie, you make a good point. There's loads of great places to go, but I would say just Google. And if you're building a website for a dentist, there must be competitors. They must know of other websites. In fact, right, if a dentist came to me and said, oh, I need a website, I don't want to get left behind, I would then say to them, right, are there any websites you like? Are there any you're competing against? And then I look at them, and then I start to form my own conclusion over, do we want to go with that kind of look, or do we want to do something really different? Have I used Piantnut Grid Builder, Harish says. No. I looked at it about 3 years ago, and I, no, not used it. No, I didn't use it. Sorry, Piantnet Forms. Sorry, not Piantnut Grid Builder. I've looked at Piantnet, never used it. Well, looked at it, not really used it, but not looked at the Grid Builder. But I think the Grid Builder WP plugin is really, really good. Duckit, how are you doing? Yeah, Flux Academy. Flux Academy, isn't that Webflow? Yeah, that's Webflow, isn't it? I think. But yeah, the question I do have for you, Johnny Vo, is who's the website for, you or your client, and what is the area we're talking about here? What are we talking about here? Landscape? Erotica? What are we talking about here? We just jumped from landscape to erotica, but what are we talking about here? No, you make a good point, Jamie. You do make a good point. My starting point is always who are the client's competitors? Because they will name you then, or name your competitors' websites that you feel you're up against. Don't say competitors, because I'll just give you anyone. So say, can you tell me your competitors' websites that you feel like you're up against? And they always then tell you ones they actually like or are fearing of. And that's when you form your opinion of what you can do about it. Hey, don't worry, duck it. They just keep coming, right? The videos keep coming. Why do I keep pumping out so many? Because the members of our audience are so varied that there's going to be loads of people, right, who didn't give two shits about the Elemental videos I did last week. Oh, I'm not using Elemental. So that's why we had to do the bricks. So now I've gone and done a bricks one. There's going to be loads of Elemental people that don't like the bricks video. So you've got to kind of put your finger in lots of pies here with trying to satisfy lots of different people, really. Yep, landscape erotica, topless tote world, yep. Thank you very much, MD Jadan. So yeah, Johnny, I missed your question. When do I use Bricks Builder? If I know it's going to be a website whereby look. It very much comes down to like how inventive you want to be, because there's like a bit more flexibility and ease. This is a really difficult one, okay? Because now that Elemental have gone and done loads more with their loop grids and all of that. Oh, so I've just noticed my internet wire's out. Hold on a moment. Yeah, hold on. I just noticed I was on Wi-Fi. Then, so hopefully the internet's not gone short or anything. Let me just check my speed. So normally I'm running on Ethernet speed, but because the internet was, and the camera was probably shaking at this point. Look, the camera's probably still shaking. Is it steadying? Yeah, it's steadying now. Yeah, so, yeah, now I'm getting 968 megabytes per second. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yes, it is now. I'm a little bit like, I'll just see how I feel. Hey Gary, do I want to use Elemental or do I want to use Bricks? I don't think I have any. I don't think any one of them is like massively that different. It depends. Yeah. So Satnidu, what is your problem? I don't. So what is the problem, Satnidu? You haven't. What's your problem? You haven't said. By the way, you can't post links into YouTube. All right. So if you try and post a link, it ain't gonna work. So what's the issue? John, what is your favorite analytics compared to the GA4? Do you know what, John? I don't think. I mean, there was one. Oh, what was it called? What's the one that Microsoft have? What's it called? I can't remember name that. I looked at it and in a way, I just went back to GA4. Exposed cable. Yes, Brian, I'm sure on Uranus. Funny place to sell it though, wouldn't it? Like bend over. Megabytes or megabits? Megabytes, mate. Megabytes. We're on 960. Well, sometimes it just goes over 1 gig, but 960 odd download speed. So yeah, we're doing all right. Satnidu, where's your issue? Where's your issue? It's not there. I can't. There's no issue, mate. Your issue's not there. So put it in again, but do not paste. Make sure your issue has not got any links in there. So your issue's not there, mate. Just had to scroll up. Microsoft Clarity. That's it, Brian. I had a look at that and I was not impressed. I found it quite cumbersome and not very intuitive. Johnny, would a template kit from Elemental work for clients with lower budgets? Yeah, Johnny, if that's what you want to go for. But again, Johnny, you're asking questions that you should know the answer to. We can't advise you on this. Will a template it is megabytes. Well, megabytes per second anyway. Megabytes per second. Oh, it's megabits, isn't it? Yeah, sorry, you... Wait, no, hold on. Yeah. Anyway, hey, Maddie, what was it talking about? Template kit. So, Johnny, look. You're going to know what your client wants. You're going to then go find a template kit. And then will that satisfy them? But what if the client says, actually, I want something different? Now, if you're not skilled enough to refine and modify that, then why use the template kit? Because now what you've done is now, yeah, it's megabytes. Yeah, it's megabytes per second. That's what it is. Or is it megabits? I don't know. Do you know what? Now you've said it right. I don't know. No, I thought it was megabyte. Oh, no. Do you know what? Let's just Google. I don't know now. What does ChatGPT say? Let's see what ChatGPT says. What does MB... I'm sure it's megabytes. Ah, you're right. It is megabits. It is megabits. It's giving me a really long winner. How does mega... Alright. Hold on a moment. I'm just checking something. Very good point. So I've always said megabytes. Obviously, megabytes is the size, yeah, but megabits is the speed or rate. So 1 megabit. But hold on. 1 megabit is equal. Oh my god, this is all complex now. To convert between megabits and megabytes, you need to consider that there are 8 bits in a byte. So if you have an internet connection with the speed of 100. Oh, this is interesting now. So Sergio has kind of educated us all a little bit. So here we go. Here we go. Yeah, no, exactly what George says as well. There are 8 bits. So if you have an internet... So let me just get this. So 100 megabytes per second, etc. equals roughly 25 MB per second. There you go. There we go. Can you hear me okay? Can you all hear me okay? Can you just let me know you can hear me okay? I was just murmuring to myself. So there you go. So if I've got close to 1,000, right, my speed equals 1 gigabytes. That's roughly 125 then megabytes per second. Do you know what? That is actually quite interesting. That is actually quite interesting. That is quite interesting, that is. Wow. I need to do a video now just on that. Did you know? No, we won't do that. Right, can I just check the question? So Satnidu asked a question at the top. Although I use tablet view and edit my site to look good, yeah, but are you using REM and clamping then? So Satnidu, you need to now go and look at like your resolution sizes. I don't recommend doing too many breakpoints. What you should probably do is go and watch the bricks video, which I know it's bricks, but go and watch it, or watch our videos for clamp and how you can do responsive clamping for margin, padding, text, images, all of that if you want, or even just do it for margin and padding. But you got to think about your layout. And then again, Satnidu, I don't know how you've built it. Maybe you've got some absolute fixed positioning. I don't know. Hey, Isotonic, hope you're okay. Hey, Johnny, you're saying you got 3 leads for 3 personal trainers. Okay, Johnny, so they've not got a high budget. Can I ask you a question? Johnny? They haven't got a high budget. Should we turn this into an opera? They have not got a high budget. Is that because they are not successful? How important is the website to them? How important is the website to them? I don't care if you ain't got a high budget. I don't care. Move on, right? How important? Let me give you an analogy. Right? Guy walks into a sports store, right? I need some amazing trainers that are going to help me run fast. I'm going to win the flipping Olympics. But I ain't got a high budget. Well then, you're not going to get the best trainers in the world, the best cross trainers, the best grip, the best fluid slimline motion to help you run, okay? You go into a... Yeah, but Johnny, you just said they're personal trainers. So do they not have any clients? They have no clients. They have no income. They have no money. How important is the website to them? Stop making excuses for them. Seriously, they're starting out like me. So what? I don't care. Listen to the analogy I just gave you. I want to win the Olympics. I want to buy trainers. I've come into your amazing shop. I want the best trainer. But I've got a low budget. What do you think the sports store would say? Here you go. Here's a couple of plimsolls. Here's a couple of sandals, right? Go and sellotape some fans onto them to help yourself run fast. So just because they're starting off right, either they do it themselves or... Well, you could give them a very basic template website, but what you've got to do is say to them, how important is the website to you? What will this website do for you? So let's take one of your personal trainers. Give me the one of all your 3 that is the most successful. Which one of your 3 is the most successful? The thing is though, Reek, right, okay, if you are getting, right, if you are getting issues with your page speed, Reek, there could be other stuff in there. There could be other stuff going wrong in there. So you've got to kind of now analyze what is the page speed issue. For instance, why don't you email me below right now with the URL to your website? There's our URL. Right, not URL, email address. Go and email me right now and we'll quickly do a page speed insight on that page. Exactly, Brian. So what I would say, yeah, Johnny, is of your 3 personal trainers, who's the most successful? Who's the most successful, right? How are they doing? They got clients? They got money? Why do they need the website? Because you should not be taking them on if you don't know what their aim is. Because what their aim is starts to influence what you will do, how you'll do it, and what is the net gain for them at the end of the day. Is the website just a landing page? Is it like an online virtual card? Is it a booking page? Is it going to have social links on there? What is the point of the website? Because if my client can't answer that, how can I give them the best thing? How can I give him it? It's like someone saying to a builder, I want an extension. What is the extension for? Oh, it's for your kitchen, but your kitchen's over here, so we're now got to think about that. Oh, it's for a bathroom. Now we're going to think about the sewage and the waistline and the water supply and all of that. Oh, it's just for your lounge. Okay, what? You're going to have skylights, no skylights, trifold, bifold? What are we going for? The purpose of the website defines how you attack it. Okay, how do you attack it? How do you attack it? So that's what I would say. Hamza, how you doing? How do you guys handle designing a website in RTL? Okay, so I don't have a great answer for you on that, but have you considered like the Google Translate plugin or another Translate plugin? I mean, I can't give you a great answer on that, but I would consider like a translator plugin, something like that. So Johnny, have a think about that, okay? If you've not thought about that and you've now agreed to work with these clients, just remember this now for going forwards, okay? I don't care how much money someone offers for a website. If they can't define to me what their aim is, I don't take it on. And here's why. Because when you've built it and it does not achieve partially or helps them on a journey towards their aim, they're going to come back and go, but I thought this website would triple my income. This is where I would go, I didn't know that. I've built your website, I've built your shop, but you want to triple your income. Well, then maybe we should have done more on the SEO. Maybe we should have done X, Y, Z. Maybe I should have advised you to think about a social media marketing campaign. You didn't tell me any of that. If you told me that, I would have priced it into the proposal. You just wanted a website. That's what you got. Okay? But if you had told me this was your aim, I would have made even more clearer that you got to do this. You got to do the SEO. You got to do the marketing. You got to get yourself on TikTok. God damn it. Right? So that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 months later, they don't come back to me and go, well, the website didn't really work for me. Well, what was your aim? What was your aim? Anna, how are you doing from Serbia, Belgrade? Hope you're okay. Sincerely, I do mean it. I hope you're okay. Is this the first time, Anna, you've joined our live chat? And I think it is, unless I don't remember your name. Sorry about that. How long have you been web designing? What do you like to use? Webflow, Wix, Squarespace, Bricks, Elementor, Divi, Breakdance. What do you like using? Gutenberg. So, Rike, have you just emailed me? Right, so number one, I can tell you now, right, before I even do a look at your website, okay? Is this you, Rike, who's just emailed me? Is this you who's just emailed me? So the first thing that's going to hit your website score is that you're using a slider. Hey, VJ. You're using a slider, so no, you're not late. I started a little earlier. You're not late at all. So, Rike, if you're there, you're using a slider. So the slider is going to bust up your page speed, number one, Rike, right? Videos and sliders as your hero banner are going to muck up your score. In fact, let me tell you the 5 things that will reduce your score. Number one, right? I'll put it on screen in a moment, everyone, so just bear with me, okay? Here's what's going to muck up your score. Let me just get my page up here. Videos will muck up your score. Sliders will muck up your score. Google Tag Manager will muck up your score if it's in your header. Put it in your footer, you get away with it. Facebook Pixel will muck up your score. Cookie consent will muck up your score. All right. So I know you've got a cookie consent on there. It will take some out. I hope the videos I put out there, Anna, do help. And I hope you've enjoyed that big video I put out last week and the shorter ones as well. Matty check, did I say hi or not? I don't think I did. Okay, right. So let's now have a quick look at what we've got going on over here. Your desktop score, 96. Desktop scores are always pretty simple. Sorry, I just realised I'm off camera. Are pretty easy, to be honest. I tell you what, if your desktop score is ever like in the 70s, you got problems, right, with your website. Right, let's just go and check. So, I'm not... What plugin are you using? Because if you're using the plugins that I've advised you, right? Yeah, Google Map as well. If you're using FastPress and the plugins that I've advised, you shouldn't get this issue, and you shouldn't. See, I think. Are you sure you're using? Well, no, hold on. Are you sure you're using FastPress? Are you sure that you're using FastPress? Because you shouldn't get these. Again, preload. You've got a lazy load going on here with your slider. So the slider is causing a hit. This is PageSpeed Insights changed this. Hey, Rustum. Where I don't like it because now it just says error rather than telling you, right? Rather than telling you what the problem is, it just says error. And this always gives me a bit of a... They changed this last week. PageSpeed Insight, and I don't understand why. Has anyone else seen this? This is now common. I don't like it. Anyway, any reason you didn't use WP Meteor, and was it because it affected your slider? And if I'm going to be really, really honest, though, okay? If you look at your slider, right, what is the main purpose of the slider other than images like this, okay? And I would say, think about it, right? I've come in, like, do I need to see all of, like, look, you're stopping me from going further on because I'm like, oh, okay, what's here? I would say stick the, I mean, this, I do like, this is quite nice, this little, effects you got going on there. That's quite nice, actually. However, why not put, okay, Will Robinson? Oh, error, danger. Yeah, error. Will Robinson. Nice one, Brian. Lost in space. Nice one. Yeah. I wonder if you want to kind of just have one image there and you bring it. I mean, to be honest, though, this is more interesting. I get to see three. Right? 3 images, whereas here it's like and all of that. I would say maybe drop it down further below. Have it in section 2, have it in section 3, something like that. So WP Meteor is okay with the elemental slider, I can tell you that now. However, if you're using Rev Slider or Depictor or anything like that, I can't vouch for that. Okay, I can't vouch for that. But, I mean, I could, if I want, just do a quick check right now. I mean, have you got Google Tag Manager on here? Because that will obviously... hang on, let me get this. Plugin detector. I keep... let's just go for this one over here. Let's just go and pump in the address like that and just see if I can detect what other plugins. Hold on, it says this is not. Have you? Whoa! Is this all locked down then? Is this website all locked down? Have you locked it down so you can't pick up the plugins and stuff? So it looks like you have. I think it looks like you've locked it down a bit. I always find it funny that the scanwp.net website always has Elemental Pro there. So WP Rocket, you've got WP Rocket. And that's all I can detect on there. So yeah, it's been a bit locked down. Yeah, it's been locked down there. Yeah, so I can't. I mean, look, I would love to give you some much meatier advice about what you can do, but I think you're gonna have to either don't go for the slider or just take the hit. Just take the hit. Because is the website still loading okay on a desktop? To me, it looked like it was. Is it still loading okay on a mobile? I bet it is. So if everything is still loading okay on an actual mobile, on a laptop or a desktop or whatever, the page speed score is irrelevant sometimes. Okay? It's a benchmark we like to achieve. But sometimes we have to accept that you will not achieve it because reality kicks in. Don't forget to hit like if you've not hit like already. Reality kicks in and we can't always achieve a high speed. So plugins, the way we've built it, anything like that, if that stops you doing it, seriously, just let it go. Just let it go. You know, because... yeah, look, if your client wants a slider, right, and you've said to them, look, if we don't put the slider there and we drop it down, we could get your score. And then again, the client's going to go, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, the score? I've just loaded up the website. It was fine. It was okay. If you then start talking about Google Core Web Vitals, again... how much of that are they going to understand, and how much truth is there in how much it hits your score or whatever? So I would say take the hit. Yeah, and I'm glad you're going to do that, Rike. Because I know that I do go on and on about page speed performance at the start of loads of my tutorial videos, but I only do that because so many people criticize Elementor and other builders for score. Oh, it's so bloated, it's so this, it's so that. And often it's, yes, there is back-end bloat, but you can help yourself out. And I can tell you now, even with bricks, that bricks tutorial I built, without the page, without all of the, without the performance stuff I did, the score actually goes down to about 85%. If with all of the stuff I'd done, it ranges between 90 to 98. It's really weird. It keeps jumping. It goes 90 to 98, 90 to 98, which is weird. And it's not the server speed. Yep, do hit the like button. Thanks, George. But without the optimization I did, because a lot of bricks videos and tutorials do not do this. They go, yeah, install bricks, do your settings, and away you go, and everything will be perfect. That is not reality. Even with Bricks Builder, WebP, custom load your fonts, obviously. Think about your layout. And you will have to do a bit of optimization with your JavaScript and your CSS. Please do not assume that you can build a Bricks website and your score will be 100 or 99. I've seen people that have done that and they've got literally hardly anything on the page. They've just got a bit of text. It's not even, yeah. You know, they've got text and then below the fold, you know, it's so light. Of course you get that. But even with Bricks Builder, your score will go down. So always, always, always put in the time to do your WordPress and your page optimization, plugins, whatever. That Bricks video I put out, I've got 5 plugins. I've got FastPress. I've got, hold on, let me get this right. FastPress. I can't remember what I had now. What did I have on there? No, oh my God, I can't remember. I can't believe it. I can't even remember what I've got on my website. I can't remember. Here we go. Here's the plugins we got. There we go. There's the plugins. Code snippets. FastPress, Rank Math SEO, and then these were extra because I wanted to do the grid builder thing, right? If you're not going to do the SEO and you're going to use the inbuilt bricks one, which is not very good in my opinion for what you need, that's it. 5 plugins. That's it. Yeah. Grid builder is optional. If you want to use the built-in bricks filter system, which you can't use with the query loop, which is a pain, but you can use it with the standard post plugin widget, then fine, go with that. It depends. Well, that's the thing, though, Carapos, right? That's the thing, okay? So I have found, right, depending on your content, your score can sometimes go down, even with the external. That's what I have found. So it's one of those things where I say, don't assume, right? Don't assume that you will always get over 90. And hi, by the way, Carapos. Great to have you here, by the way, as well. As always, mate, you know, it's always lovely to have you here, my friend. I just realised I forgot to purge one of my websites. Let me just purge it. No, not purge it. Wrong thing. Sorry, I've just remembered I didn't purge something I was working on. Is that done now? That should be done. How are you doing, by the way? And by the way, Carapos, have you seen the bricks video I put out? Does it get a tick from you? Because I know you're a big user, so does it get a tick for you? Do you know what, Brian? Sometimes I don't bother now saying like button, because you know what? It's very unpredictable how many people are going to like anything that I do at the end of the day. I haven't had a lot of heat, I have to be honest, yet, and I don't know if that's because a lot of people have just blocked me from the bricks community. Some people have openly said that they've blocked me because they don't like my approach, and they say that it's not the right way to build a website, the way I go about things. I think they're talking absolute shit, if I'm honest, because the way you build is subjective to what works for you. And yeah, I'm just checking some of the comments that have come in. So I've got this directorial website we're working on. I say me, and I want to try and get all of the back-end stuff all set up today, especially the WooCommerce as well, so that when I come tomorrow, because I don't do the live chat until later in the day, I've got a full day where I can hammer home the presentation, the home page, the about page, all of these pages, build them all out as best as I can. When I say best, make them really good. And then make sure the pricing packages for the directory all work and the way you log in and all of that. And then hopefully, get sign off either Wednesday night or Thursday, and then we're done. You know, I like to get sign off at regular stages on bits. So, right, check this, check that. Every night I will give the client a email letting them know where we got to, where we're up to at the moment, so they know what we're doing, so they don't feel like, oh, what's the progress? Because clients will sometimes go, oh, I'll just check the website. So you want them to know, right, this ain't done, that ain't done, and all of that. And hopefully we'll get sign off. So we agreed to do this project middle of March. We first spoke to each other near the beginning of March. We agreed then middle of March. We delayed until now because the client had to do some stuff. Even though we oh, hold on, something's gone wrong. Hold on. Are you kidding me? Something has gone wrong. Sorry, it's just a website I was working on. It's not. I'm having one of these moments now where I'm gonna like not have a panic attack, but I'm gonna get really mad if this doesn't work. Hold on a moment. Are you kidding me? It's just a purge issue, alright? It's just a purge issue. I've got to go log into the server now and just purge the server. I do actually forget what I'm talking about. I do regularly. I feel like I've got amnesia kicking. I forget what I'm talking about. Thank you, Harish. You start your morning with lessons. If I'm using Elementor, Duck says, with Hello Theme, how many more additional plugins do I need to install? Well, you only need the ones you need. So when I did that Elementor video last week, I think I had a total of 8 or 9 plugins. I think it was 9. 2 of them were Grid Builder, 2 of them were Elementor, then I had Rank Math, then I had Fast Press, Code Snippets, WP Meteors. I think it was 8 or 9 plugins. So, you know, you're obviously going to go for what you need, right? What you're not going to do is add in more than you actually need, right? Surely? You might have 11 actually if you need to add in another backup, and because I didn't add in a backup or a security. So backup security, you're going up to about 11. So let's just count it off. Elementor, Elementor Pro, Grid Builder, and then I did Grid Builder Elementor add-on. If you want it, you don't have to have it. If you don't want it, you don't have it, okay? Fast Press, Code Snippets, WP Meteor. Was that it? Elementor. Actually, that was it then. That was it. It was 7. And then up WP Vivid, and then you might go for security. So 9 plugins all in total, right? It would have been 7 if you didn't go for the Grid Builder. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Kind of thing. So don't overdo it. Don't do what a lot of people do, which is like, oh yeah, we'll add this, we'll add that, we'll do that, we'll go for it. Especially WooCommerce, they now enabled multi-channel plugins. So do you want to like promote on TikTok, Pinterest? If you do not untick them, it will load in extra 4 plugins on your website. And WooCommerce already, people complain that Elementor is bloated. Elementor is anorexic compared to WooCommerce. If you want to talk about bloat, go and look at WooCommerce and the bloat and the inodes. If you look at the inodes of your website when you have Elementor, right? Let's say, right, it's whatever. When you add WooCommerce, you have nearly triplicated your inodes. This is true with just WooCommerce. Then you add payment gateway, it goes up. Then you add in an extension like subscription or something, it goes up and up. Hey, Soren. And when you look at the multi-channel crap that WooCommerce now bundles into their plugin, you do not want that. Rajat, do you take a break between work? No, well, I don't. Well, not well. Yeah, I don't like to do a website straight after another website. I like to have a bit of downtime. The most I've ever done is 3 websites in a week. All 3 of them, believe it or not, were directory. It was like sod's law, but that was in a week. But I like to have time to do videos. I like to have time to experiment. I like to have time to do some social media stuff. I like to have time to just collect my thoughts and go, okay, what are we doing? Do you know what, George? Don't you think that's a great comparison, right? Everyone goes, Elementor is so bloated. Yeah, I get that. But next door to WooCommerce, WooCommerce is a big bad mama coming down through your doorway, smacking through into the kitchen. Get to me, you know, opening the fridge, throwing food in the air. You want to know about bloat? Go look at the inodes and the shit that WooCommerce loads into your website, right? But now they've added in the multi-channel, Pinterest, TikTok. If you don't untick them, it's very clever how they do it. If you don't expand and untick it when you install WooCommerce, it goes and adds in 4 extra plugins. It's like when people install it and they've got Jetpack, and I go, what are you doing? They've got Hello Dolly. They've got Monster Insights. They've got all this other stuff. They sometimes have about 8 plugins that have come just from WooCommerce. And I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, but WooCommerce advised me to have this. No, they didn't. They just bundled it in for you. Hey, take care, Duckett, mate. See you soon. Oh, yes, John. Was that the video link you shared? Yeah. Inode count, Rajat? No, because Inodes kind of like are dependent on your plugins. To be honest, Rajat, it's not worth doing a video. No, don't worry. I don't know, Hamza. I really don't know. You might need to reach out to some Elementor support team people about. I don't have a good answer for you on that. No, well, to be honest, Carapaz, I don't know. Actually, Carapaz, if you check the number of inodes, it's not that bad. WooCommerce adds, in fact, you're more likely to get a JavaScript issue with WooCommerce or a JavaScript error with WooCommerce. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. Do I believe in plugin residue? What? Well, residue is when you leak on yourself, Rajat. Do I believe in plugin residue? Look, I don't like it when plugins leave traces in the database. You deactivate, you delete it. You've even deleted it from your file manager. You've gone into file manager, you've done a search, and you've deleted it. Even then, a trace will be somewhere in the WP config file, and I hate it when plugins do that. In fact, I love code snippets. If you deactivate and delete code snippets and then install a fresh version of code snippets, if there was a bad code, the bad code becomes reactivated. Even though you deleted and deactivated, deleted, it's still there. And then it brings your website down again. So I've added in a code snippet called safe mode, which I would recommend you use if ever you have a problem. Because I'll tell you what, residue's not good. Raja, I got a problem when I removed W3 Total Cache plugin. What was the problem, Raja? Was it the residue? Did you leak over yourself again? Did it leak on you? Did it leak on your website? Who the hell leaked on who here? Exactly, Isotonic. Oh man, 1069 columns against my products. What? Do I use the code snippets paid version? Brian, I have got the code snippets paid version. However, you can just use the code snippets free version. You don't miss out. Soren, my Elementor installation seems to get the breakpoints wrong. Soren, I can't answer that because I don't think using breakpoints is amazingly reliable, if I'm honest. It could be related to margins. However, maybe consider using clamp instead so that you don't have to create a load of additional breakpoints. Hey Sind, how you doing? Right, everyone. I'm just going to go have a quick piss, okay? I said it. If you're listening, I'm having a piss. I'll be back in 2 minutes, all right? Why don't you all go for a piss as well? Go for a urine. Mia, if you're still watching, go jump out the caravan and just do it over the grass. Go and have a piss, everyone. Or a leak. Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Oh, I don't know how it goes. Take care of the plants, of course. I hope you all enjoyed your pee break. Um, yeah, you go to your cPanel, go to your file manager, right? Go to any one of your websites, right? Okay, just look at the number of inodes. In fact, shall I show you it? Does anyone here want to understand it? So let me show you. Here you go. Look, let's do it. Should we do it live? Should we talk about inodes? Who here wants to look at inodes? Yeah, should we do it? Okay, sailor submarine. Oh, yeah, I bet. More like sinker submarine. More like that, Michael. Nah, Dave. If I'm going to have a dump here, I'd say I'd see you in 20 minutes. No. You should only pee when full. Oh, Maticek, I am full. I don't eat a lot of carbohydrates, right? So if you eat a lot of carbs, you hold on to wee. I don't. I go wee all day, flipping long. All right, let me just check the comment here before I show you the inode. Right, okay. Right, so Soren, I don't know. Oh, sorry. You might need to reach out to the Elemental people with what's going on there. I'm not trying to pass the buck, but I'm not sure. Right. Okay, so this is SiteGround, and I'm going to go to the website we built last week, okay, with... this is the website that we built last week with Elemental. So you know the one I built, okay? So here's I've got loads of websites here, whatever. So here's the one we built last week, right? There's the inodes, okay? Look at the inodes. This is the one with Elemental. This is the one with bricks, right? This has not got WooCommerce on, but this is bricks. So let me just show you bricks before we go to the Elemental one, okay? Let's just go into, let me go to WP content, okay? Right, so now look at my inodes. So this is the bricks website that we just built, okay? The inodes are 2,000. Should we keep a note of the numbers here? Let's keep a note of the numbers. So the number of inodes being used is 2,051. Bricks is only 736 for the theme, right? So 736 for the theme and 2,050. Oh, sorry, I'm in the way, aren't I? Whoa, sorry, I was in the way then. Sorry, I was in the way. Right, so the bricks theme is 736 inodes, 30 megabytes. The plugins are 2051. Let's just go and look at the plugins, right? So now you can see the inodes, code snippets, SEO, rank math 990, 675, 43. Okay, you get a pretty good idea of what we got going on there. Now let's go look at the Elemental website that I created that does have a lot more going in on it. Over here, it's a total of 15,000, but this has got WooCommerce. Let's now go in and look at this. Let's go to WP content. And now the theme, so this is hello. This is Elemental now, right? It's 48. So 48 versus 736. Bear that in mind, okay? But it is hello at the end of the day. The plugins are 12,000. On the Bricks website, it was 2,000. This is now 6 times larger. But now look at this when we go in, right? Oh, come on, load up. So let's now look at this, right? Let's just put it into number order, right? Look at this. Elemental is 1291. Elemental is 1291. WooCommerce is 5,000, 5,500. Okay? Look, all of these, they're pretty small, okay? Even the gateway is 7.6. Look at that. The gateway is 769 inodes. Right? Elemental, yeah, look, Elemental Pro and Elemental, sorry, are about 2,300, okay? But PayPal payments is 769. Payments WooCommerce for Stripe is 1,200. So WooCommerce on its own is 5.5, 6.7. What was that? 6.7, 7.5. 7,500 inodes. 7,500 inodes. Right? That is WooCommerce. Elemental is 2.5. Bricks is about 800. Elemental is 2.5, right? Okay. WooCommerce is 7,500 inodes. So if you want to bust a gut about bloat, bust a gut about WooCommerce, okay? And this is what, when you have unlimited storage space on your website, don't believe that, okay? Don't believe that. Go and double check, because often you're restricted by the number of inodes you're allowed. Johnny, Andrew, great to have you here, by the way. Johnny, SiteGround does come with optimization. If you've watched my page speed video, you will notice that I do mention that SiteGround give you Optimizer, but I do not use it. Optimizer has been built assuming you're going to use the WordPress block editor. If you are not using the block editor because you're using more, like Divi, Bricks, Breakdowns, Elementor, Spectra, Quickly, all of this stuff, the SG Optimizer is as good as me. I can't think of a good analogy here. But SG Optimizer ain't worth it. I know it's free, but it's just not worth it. What are you planning to do, Andrew, while your wife is off? Are you gonna do no work? Are you just gonna have like a chill out couple of days now? Are you actually gonna do some work? Or are you now gonna go and do all the things you've ever wanted to do, but you couldn't do? Or are you just gonna, like, you know, just carry on as normal? In fact, you're probably gonna get more done, won't you? Will you get more done now? Will there be less time in the garden, Andrew? Oh dear. I hope you're joking, Michael, when you say who's Jenna Jameson. Yes, so WooCommerce is a pain in the ass when it comes to inodes. Inodes are basically everything and anything in the back end where it's taking up a bit of basically it's got stuff activated all over the place, right? So interestingly, Bricks was about 736 inodes. Elementor with Elementor Pro is about 2.5. The Hello theme is only 48, but then when you total it up with the Elementor Pro, you're looking at 2.5. Bricks is 700, so you can see it's like, what, 33% of what Elementor Pro and all of that is. But WooCommerce, 7.5 times, right? That's big. That's really big. I mean, all of the plugins add on, right? And the more plugins you add, that's more inodes, that's more rendering, that's more DOM, that's more JavaScript being loaded into the back-end system, right? Yeah, you really got it. Just don't overdo them. Ango, hope to see, sorry, not hope to see, great to have you here, Georgios. Georgios from Greece, I have a question, please. How can I enrich the no product found when searching for a product? I wouldn't show it. I mean, I would say, how are they getting to that product in the first place then? Is it via a filter system? How are they getting to it? Is it via a URL? Ah, got you, Michael. Got you. I did wonder, I thought, sure, you know, Michael, he's not young. He'll know who Jenna Jameson is. So, Soren, I can't see my inodes. Soren, can you go and check with your host provider then? Right? Yeah? Can you go and check? Andrew, yeah, I mean, I was about to say something and I'm not going to say it now because it was to do with, it all depends on your host provider, Soren, yeah. Yep, exactly. Are you? I think isn't it more than that though, George? You know, when you say 10,000 images, isn't it? Isn't it more than that? Oh, I don't know. Do you know what? We've just learned about megabytes per second and megabits. I never thought about it like that. I've always said megabytes per second. So when you're searching for product not found, Ango, have you thought about doing a 404 error page done in Elementor Pro? In fact, if you watched a video I did last Saturday, the big 7-hour video, there's a timestamp for 404, so you need to go do a 404 error page. But it's not really an error page. No, yeah, or set up a redirection. So you might need to set... I don't know, it gets complicated now. Gets complicated. Right, everyone, 2-minute warning because I've got to pick my son up in 2 hours' time. And I need to get back into the groove with a client's website because I've got lots to do. And I want to just hit home on this one and get loads done today. Pick my son up, take him somewhere to get something to eat, come back and just hammer home later on today. What would be the optimal inodes? To be honest, you want to keep it as small as possible, but I don't think there's any such thing as optimal, Andrew. It all depends on what you're doing. Yeah, like Brian said, custom 404s. It all depends on how you're getting there, to be honest, with how you set it up. But custom 404s is what you want to be going for. I hope you've enjoyed today's live chat. We've kind of mixed and matched and done loads of stuff. Please do go and watch the bricks video if you are ever... Ooh, Stormy Daniels. Ooh, dangerous. I do hope that you've enjoyed the bricks video if you are using bricks. If you notice anything I did wrong in it or you would have approached it differently, please do put it in the comments. You know, I'm happy to learn. Right, I am, I do what I need to do to get the job done, but I'm always happy to learn and improve as well myself. So please do let me know. Okay, everyone, I am going to say take care. I'm going to say catch you later later on in the day. See you soon and stay safe. Look after yourselves. I can't shut down, actually. Why can't I shut down? There we go. Stay safe. Okay.